Hello, and welcome to a very special show from Kelly Morgen Jewelry. Tonight's show is very different than my previous live shows. It is not live, it is pre recorded. It is going to be very short, about 20 minutes. No piece is over $95. And these are all early pieces from 20 years ago, from 2005, when I was studying abroad with a master goldsmith in Florence, Italy. So, all of these pieces are from when I was learning metalsmithing, learning new techniques, and exploring how to make my style of jewelry today. They are very different from my current style. And I found them all in a briefcase recently when going through my things at my dad's house. And I thought, I'd really like these to get out to people who will love them and appreciate them. They should not be living in a briefcase in my house. And so I went through, I weighed all of them, and I am basically just selling them for the cost of the silver. This is not something I will do again. This is not something I normally do, but I just very much want these to find homes since I have professional photographs of them and I don't really wear them personally. So I will basically be spending a little bit of time, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, talking about each piece. I think I have about 25 pieces to show you. And if you see a piece that you like, just shoot me a quick email at info@kellymorgan.com and I can claim that piece for you. Shipping is going to be about $10. This is only available to my United States clients. I cannot ship these internationally, mostly because the cost of the delivery would outweigh the cost of the piece. You can claim as many as you would like. And I am going to put this show up on YouTube where basically it will run until all of the pieces are sold. I'm also going to do a little fun thing where I'm going to include some of my early pieces as gifts with any of these orders. So I will just randomly put these little gifts into any orders. And those are some, I will show you those maybe in the middle of the show. They're just like fun exercises I did, like little boxes and little spheres. So without further ado, let's start with our necklaces. These are all handmade by me from sterling silver. I would save up all of my money. I wouldn't eat. I would eat like pasta for the whole week, and I would save up my money to buy sterling silver and make these pieces because I wanted them to be really special. Start off, this is the most expensive piece of the night at $95, and probably the coolest one in my opinion. This is handmade from sterling silver. It's a little exercise in prong setting. So I was learning how to make prongs in different shapes and styles. And this, I think this is a synthetic garnet. It was quite expensive at the time. I would go across to this little shop over the Arno River and buy my gemstones there. So I was doing these practice pieces with longevity in mind, which is very it's very me. It's what I still do. So even though they were practice pieces, they got the finest of materials. I have a blue topaz piece on. I'm just going to hold this up for you. So yes, it's a very cool garnet piece. It is only $95, and that is the cost of the sterling and the garnet for that one. It will come with a little Figaro chain. All of the pendants will, and you can choose your length, either 16 inches, 18 inches, or 20 inches. Just let me know in your email. So that is our first garnet. We'll call that the Garnet Necklace. Next up, we have the blue topaz necklace that I am modeling here on an 18-inch chain. Let me get that off so I can show it to you here. And this one is a gorgeous blue topaz, and it was another prong setting. A beautiful, again, probably synthetic, but maybe not. I don't really remember what kind of quality I was buying. Blue topaz with a beautiful little filigree pattern in the back. And then this little dangly bit here actually has some engraving on it since I was learning to engrave as well. And this piece is going to be $75. That comes with the chain in your choice of length as well. So that is our blue topaz pendant at $75. Next up, I told you I was going to be whipping through these. I want everybody to have a chance to quickly watch through the whole show since I don't have a tray or anything. I'm just going piece by piece. So this is our amethyst prong necklace here. Again, I was learning to set prongs, so you can see my little 3-prong set. And I sort of made this little Art Nouveau detail of an engraved leaf on the back because you can definitely see my Art Nouveau tendencies even in these early pieces. So that is our amethyst piece. I'm just going to hold it up. So you can see it's quite dainty. These are all quite dainty pieces, not like my usual larger piece. This one is going to be 75 as well, which does include your choice of chain. And then moving on next, we have this beautiful Mucha piece. This is a piece that I was experimenting with painting. This is not enamel. This is actually egg tempera, and then I coated it with a resin to keep the painting in. It's got these pieces, by the way, they are not perfect. There are like little flaws in every one, some only that I would notice, but like this one has a little bit of scratching on the back, and then on the front here underneath the resin, there are those bright spots you see, those are some of the paints that flaked off while I was putting on the resin. But she's a really sweet little painting. She is hand painted with egg tempera by me, and she is based on Mucha's rose painting. He has a beautiful painting where she's covered in roses. So I sort of think of this one as like Aphrodite or the goddess of roses. She's pretty small as well, a little bit bigger than some of the necklaces. And she will be going for $45, also including your choice of chain length with her. And then we have another. Now, this is an actual enamel piece where I was trying out enamel painting. This is also based on an Alphonse Mucha painting. And this one was a little where is he? Czech. A little Czech girl. She's got her little hat on. You can see her profile, and then her hair is sort of coming over her shoulder here. It's almost like a little abstract, but she has this cool little veil that I made, and then some green counter enamel on the back. You can see a little blip in the enamel there where I failed to get it perfectly straight. But she has a really nice feel to her. She's heavy with the I believe the sterling was 20 gauge, which is pretty heavy for her. And you can see here's what she would look like on another small piece. And this one is going to be only 30 since she is a little more less well defined than the other painting I did. And then last up for our necklaces, we have this really fun sort of Elven Art Nouveau sterling silver and amber piece. That is a piece of real Baltic amber set in there. And then it's not cast. I was experimenting with like how I could get things more three-dimensional without casting. So I actually like chased and hammered it. I soldered on all of these wires. I soldered on the little balls and everything. So it gives it a really fun sculptural feel. I think of this as sort of like the Elven amber pendant here. And this one is going to just be $30. And then I will hold it up so you can see. So yes, that will also come with the sterling silver chain. And this one is quite dainty as well. So those are all of the necklaces I have. I'm going to move into our rings. I made a lot of rings. I feel like that's how they wanted to train us, was with rings, which is kind of interesting. I have 10 rings here, so let me grab them out. I will give the sizing so you will know if it will fit you or not. And as I said, everything is just priced at the material value. I just want these to find good homes and make sure that they get some love, not in my bottom drawer here. So, okay, we're going to start with this ring, which is really cool. This one was based on Aragorn's coronation crown. If any of you watched Lord of the Rings, I was obsessed with them, and it's the reason I became a jeweler, was so I could make jewelry like in those movies. This is based on his coronation crown. It has an inlay of amethyst, sugilite. That is crushed up sugilite, which is now very valuable, but at the time there was plenty of it. So I was learning how to do inlay. I was learning how to make rings. You can see there's 2 layers, which you can kind of see on the inside there. And then I will try this one on. It is a slightly larger ring, so you can wear it with the inlay showing here, or you can wear it with the winged look, which I think is really cool. This one is a size 9, and I am pricing it at, let's see, $45 for this Coronation Ring. Then next up, we have this winged ring. This was really fun. You can see the Art Nouveau detail in all of my pieces here. This is a natural lapis lazuli in the center here. And then I've done these silver Art Nouveau wings around the side with a little tiny bit of engraving in the center there. This one is a size, let's see, 7.5, but I could actually adjust this a little bit bigger. The sides actually come apart if you, I'm happy to make it bigger for you before I ship. Just let me know. Otherwise, they're not going to move. They're pretty well attached, but I could adjust it slightly. And this one is priced at winged ring. This one is $60. And again, all solid sterling and 2 layers. The camera is not wanting to focus here, but there's our second layer, the bigger wing, and then the first layer is the smaller wing on top. So that is our winged ring. Next up, I have this topaz or citrine. Sorry, it is not a yellow topaz ring. It is a citrine ring. This was another prong exercise where I was learning to set prongs. As you can see, it's not perfectly straight, but the prong I did a great job on the prongs. It's just not quite perfect. So none of these pieces are going to be exactly perfect, but it does have a beautiful yellow quality to it. And it's quite small. This one is, where is my citrine ring? It is a size 5, probably fits me as a ring finger ring. Yes. And this one is priced at, I don't have these in order. Okay, this one is 60 for our size 5 citrine ring. If anyone wants to give that a new home, let me get that off. It's a little snug. I really like that one. If it fit my main finger, I would wear it more. Okay, next up we have some interesting design experiments. This was my compass ring. I was obsessed, well, I still am obsessed with nautical things like tall ships and compasses. So this is made out of copper and bronze with a sterling silver base on the ring. It is another one that is quite large. This might make a fun man's ring, actually, if you want to gift your husband any Kelly Morgen Jewelry originals. This one is size 9 and priced at $40. And it has a little tiny engraving of a compass rose in the very center there. So this is a fun one. I was learning how to make these domed, I was basically trying to make the sterling silver ring on the bottom, and then we got to decorate it however we wanted. So this is a unusual one. It could be a cool thumb ring too, actually, if you have a size 9 thumb. Kind of it feels very powerful. I like that one. Okay, and then next up we have, I'm calling this the desert ring. This was a design experiment I did that was a lot of fun. So it's all solid sterling silver, and we were experimenting with making rings that sort of had some height to them. So you can see this side is sterling, but this side I added a little bronze layer, and I put in 2 howling coyotes because I was very extra in my jewelry class. I kept adding detail and stuff, which was pretty hilarious. This is an Australian opal, which is probably worth quite a bit more than I paid for it back in the day. And then you can see it has this little setting sun layer. I did a layer of bronze and a layer of copper. And then I have the copper mountains and then a tiny little coyote howling at the moon. So you can see some of my animal work coming through in the earlier work, which is fun. The Coyote ring is a size 8.5, so it is also a little bigger. And then this one is priced at 50. Let me try it on here. It's got a little bit of height to it. So it is more of a statement ring, but it looks very cool directly from the top because it has that basically a little scene, which I thought was really fun. So okay, next up in terms of scenes, we have an Egyptian ring. This was an exercise, again, in learning how to make the rings with height, but I also, I I also wanted to make a little sculptural element on the top. So I did a little Egyptian cartouche, and I don't remember what it says. I probably looked up all the little scenes and wrote something out. It probably says something like love or peace or hope or whatever I was into at that exact moment. I honestly do not remember, but it is all solid sterling. This one is a size, let's see, 9.5. This came out the biggest. This would be really fun. I think this would be another great thumb ring. You could probably, where's my compass ring? Probably get like a little set of powerful thumb rings here if your thumbs are 9 or 9.5. And this Egyptian ring I am pricing at 45 here with our fun little Egyptian cartouche that means, oops, it's upside down. That means something we don't know. Next up, I have this really unusual ring. This is, I guess we'll call this the chain ring. I don't know what I was thinking. I was having fun in my jewelry class, learning some new things. It's very comfy on because it's actually flared. So at the top, it has, like a smaller dimension, and at the bottom it's bigger, which was why it was a little hard to size it. I think it's a 6 at the top and around a 7.5 at the bottom. So you would use the bottom measurement to know if it would fit you or not. Because it tapers, so does your finger. So you don't need to be a 6, but you should be a 7.5. I am a 7.5 and it fits this ring finger perfectly. And then, yeah, I added this little like chain component here, which I thought was really fun at the time. This one has a little bit of tarnishing inside, and it has a little bit of fire scale on the outside, which means that its silver is slightly different colors. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. It's a little bit more gray and then a little bit more silver, which gives it kind of a cool multicolor effect. But this is, something that in my work today, I would have polished it better and made sure I got rid of all the fire scale. So this one is only $30. It's kind of just a fun experiment that I want someone to own. So here's the larger picture. It feels very like cosplay or something you could wear for a fun costume. So that is our chain ring. And then next up we have, so this was an engagement ring. My teacher, Franco, wanted me to learn how to make an engagement ring like he would make. He would make them in gold with diamonds, and they would sell for thousands and thousands of dollars. So he was like, all right, let's do sterling silver and a blue topaz, which is what I did. But yeah, this, I spent so much time on this, you guys. This was like several week project. And I milled this. So this is all solid sterling that I actually like milled the wire, and I had to taper it to make the band smaller and then larger at the top. So it was a nightmare. I hated this. This is where I learned like, oh, I'm not going to be a traditional jeweler. I don't want to make engagement rings. I want to make fun necklaces. So yes, this ring was slightly formative, but it's got that beautiful inlaid prong setting. It's very comfortable to wear. This one, I would assume it fits my ring finger, actually. Yes. This one is about a size 6. I can't get it all the way down on my index finger, but you get the idea. It is a size 6, and this one, where is it? My list is very long, and I literally cannot find this one. Please hold. Blue topaz ring. Okay, there it is. This one is $95 because this one has quite a bit of sterling and beautiful work in it. So that is our size 6 blue topaz engagement ring. All right, we've got 2 more rings. This one is a tiny little opal ring I made because I'm obsessed with opals, and I was obsessed with opals then. It is a beautiful quality opal. This one I do remember getting from the gem store, and it is an Australian opal with a lot of fire. It's got blue and pink and green, and then the band is just a simple little sterling silver band. This was meant to be like a little stacker, so you could stack it with other rings above or below. This one is a size 4.5. It is quite small. So this could be a pinky ring. Let me put it on my pinky So you can see what it would look like. There we go. Yeah, perfect pinky ring for me. And this one is priced at $30. Okay, I think that's less than the cost of the opal now, but just trying to find everything good homes. So again, that's a size 4.5 for the opal ring, which is $30. Next up, we have a little gold and diamond ring, because you know that when I like fine materials, I go all the way. So this one was just an exercise in setting a little pebble diamond. It's just a really simple band. It is a size 7. It is also meant to be a stacker. So you could see that, like with the rings I'm wearing here, it would be a really great stacker with gold rings there. And this one is $75, which is basically the cost of the gold today and the diamond. So again, not charging for my work, just wanting these rings to find good homes. So this one is going to be the gold and diamond ring. This is a size 7 for $75. Okay, and that is all of our 10 rings. Next up, I'm going to do the earrings really quickly. Yes, I did make earrings at one point, and then we're going to move on to the objects, of which I have a few. So we're running, I used to make everything, pendants, rings, earrings, but now I just do necklaces. Okay, so we've got some earrings. These are really fun. These are sterling silver that I have patinaed black. They are tiny, beautiful flowers. I actually hand drew the stems through a wire milling unit. It was a lot of work. And then they have tiny little pearls. Sorry guys, I'm gonna fight this camera the entire show. It just does not want to focus on the little stuff. So they have tiny black pearls in their little, ooh, it does not want to focus on these. There we go. Tiny black pearls in the center of their little flower petals. And you can see these are they're 3-dimensional flowers that I made. I thought this was a really cool direction to go, but that was before I met Heyoka and started doing goddess necklaces. So anyway, these have lever back, also sterling silver, that have been patinaed black. I've had these for 20 years, and the patina has not come off. So I'm not really worried that it will come off, even with a lot of wearing. These ones are going to be $50. We'll call these the flower earrings, and they're just cool. They're just really elegant, really long, beautiful sterling silver flower earrings. All right. And then next up, we have a pair of these are actually solid gold. Unlike most everything else here, most everything is silver. These are solid gold. The levers are solid gold. All of the chains are solid gold. And these are almondine garnets. So these are beautiful little teardrop garnets. And I was basically experimenting a little bit with wire wrapping and seeing if I wanted to do that. Probably for the best I didn't do that, because I really prefer my current style. But these are just little fun, beautiful cluster earrings. These ones I actually did wear for a few years, but I really just don't reach for them as much anymore. And they are priced at Garnet Earrings. These ones are $70, which again just covers the cost of the gold and the garnets. Not charging for my work, because these are all such early pieces. Okay, and here they are, very small, very dainty. They're very sparkly. The almondine garnets have a little bit of shine to them from the facets. So I love these earrings. Someone should have them. They are a fun little set. Okay, and then one more pair of earrings. These ones I actually slipped in here. I did not make them. I got them very early on in my career from a neighboring vendor, but I don't wear them anymore, and they're really beautiful. I don't want to give them to charity. I want I want somebody who loves them to have them. They are solid sterling. They have little blue topaz at the top there. They are a little tiny bit tarnished. They could do with a little polishing. Oh, and I have them backwards. Okay, let's fix that. So here is the front. I forget the name of the artist who made them, but you can see they're very Art Nouveau. I think these are forming little flowers or irises here. They have little blue topaz stones, and they are a little bit on the bigger side. Yeah, they sort of fan out with a fun silhouette. These ones are Art Nouveau earrings, $40. Okay. I think I bought them for 80 quite a few years ago, but we're just giving them a new home, especially since I didn't make them. I didn't want to price them too high. So $40. We're going to call these our Art Nouveau earrings. And hopefully Christian will have posted the name of everything up there, so you will have a name and a price. Okay, that was all of my traditional jewelry. Now we are going to move to some weirder things. This is one of my first pieces that I made in 2005. It is an Art Nouveau letter opener. This is wild. I don't know how I thought of it. It was for married metals. So I was learning how to perfectly join two different types of metals. I nailed it, you guys. There's not a single gap in here. This is one of my few exercises that I absolutely killed. She's got a little inlaid sugilite collar there with a little flash of purple, and she works. She's very sharp. She'll work as a letter opener. I did have to polish her up a bit. She will eventually probably tarnish over time because she is bronze and copper. But I did polish everything up. So if you are keeping it in a desk drawer, it should probably keep pretty well. But if you keep it like in a, jar on the desk, you might want to polish her up or not. Before I polished her up for this show, she had actually aged a really pretty color. So you might not have to polish her at all. And this Art Nouveau letter opener is $50 for anyone who wants to open their letters with a little bit of flair. So I thought that was fun. Next up, I have two Celtic brooches. This was when I was learning to blacksmith in England. So these are two of my pieces that are not from 2005. Let me move over my little tray here. But I thought they were so cool and I don't really use them. So I wanted to give someone a chance. These are basically, if you have a big fluffy shawl on, you can close the shawl and then you put a little bit of the shawl in here and like close the brooch, or I think you stab a little bit of the shawl and close it. Not actually sure how they work because I never wore them. But you could Google how to use them. They're just really fun. They were so much work. They're tiny, but I spent 3 hours in the forge making these. You had to basically draw out the metal. And so it was thicker on the outside, and then you'd taper both them, and then you'd quickly roll them up and then twist in the middle. I don't know. I probably made 100 of these to get these two because they kept, he was surprised that I was working so small, and so my pieces kept breaking in half. But these are really fun. These are only going to be $40 each. If I have any Ren Fair people or SCA fans here, you guys will appreciate these. So let me know if anyone wants these little Celtic inspired brooches. Oh, and then I'm going to show you one more piece at the end, but first I'm going to show you all of the free things that I will be including randomly with any of these orders. These are items that are really cool and fun, but I didn't really feel like I could actually charge for them. Two of them are going to be little barrettes. One is made by my teacher, Heyoka, and then one is me copying him. He taught me to make these when I was apprenticing to him in later 2005. And he used to sell these at the Ren Fair. They're just for your hair. You take out the one piece, you put it in the back of your hair, and then you thread it through and it stays in your hair. They're quite pretty. They're these little Art Nouveau patterns. You could put them on the sides of your hair or somewhere. They're just a little clip, but I thought these were really sweet. They're made from bronze. So I will put one in each order that I get. The other fun things are, this was an exercise in engraving. I was learning to engrave, and this one is in copper. It's a little cherub. It's a little naked cherub boy with grapes in the background and the little grape leaves all along. And I remember when I engraved this, my teacher said, he was like, "Oh, good design." And in Italian, which I don't, it was bene. I don't remember the word for design, but I was so happy because it was the only nice words he's ever said to me in the entire year, which was hilarious. It's actually designed to be a little pendant. So it's got a little loop on the back where you could put a chain on it. But yeah, it's just this fun little copper engraved piece. So that will be included. Another one that's going to be included is a bronze pendulum. And this is really cool. This is actually a 3-dimensional object I made out of bronze. And I domed the circle. I soldered it on. I did a really good job with this one. This one is almost pretty flawless. And then I also have, where did my little, okay, there's a little copper ball somewhere. I don't know where it is. I will include it. It's the same as this. It's like a little bronze. It's just a perfect little ball. It was a fun little exercise we were making. And then this one is a little copper box, and this one is solid copper. And I made the whole box. You can keep a little tiny necklace in it. It opens and closes. I just polished it all up. So that's going to go in someone's box as well as a fun little item. And then our last one is a little dragonfly enamel. This was another experiment in enamel on copper. It is a pendant. It can be worn, and it's got, yeah, you can really see like the earliest vestiges of my style in a lot of these pieces, which I thought was fun. So I will randomly select orders to distribute those all in. I do have one more piece. Okay, I know I said that everything was under $95, but I lied. There is one piece in here that I spent months making. It was my engraving and metalsmithing final exam, basically. And this is a gorgeous solid sterling silver bracelet. It is the only bracelet I have ever made and ever will make. It has this incredible engraving on it. It's got a tall ship here with Celtic knots around it. And then these are two seahorses, actually like unicorn seahorses, I see, with a tall ship in the center flying over a sea. The little stones are cubic zirconiums. They are not diamonds. I could not get my hands on diamonds. But if I could have, I would have done it. There's another seahorse with the Celtic knot, and then here's our ship again. So it's perfectly symmetrical, or as perfect as humans can make it. And then it has this is a little white gold clip. I remember Franco, my teacher, he was like, fine, I will, because it has to be gold in order to have the springiness to close. So he's like, fine, I will buy you a gold piece, but you have to pay me back. I think it was like €100 at the time. And so, yeah, it's completely finished. And let me put it on. You just open it up and then you put it on your wrist and close it. So it is quite bulky. We are not messing around. This is for like a night at the opera with like a black dress. You are wearing a stunning hand engraved bracelet. And yeah, it is big and clunky. This is not a little dainty piece. This is a statement piece. But it's perfectly executed. I did a really good job. I passed my final exam. I became a jeweler. So good for me. And this piece, I am still just charging the actual materials, which is the white gold spring on the inside and the solid sterling. So this one's going to be $5.95. That is just the cost of the metals. I am not charging anything for my labor. And the reason is, even though I love this piece and it is a really cool masterwork, I do not wear bracelets. I don't wear watches. I cannot stand their feeling. I have like a sensory thing on it. And I want this to go to somebody because it's just been sitting around. I do think it is really cool. I'm still tempted to keep it. But if anyone wants it, this one is going to be $595. That is the one expensive piece in this show. But obviously I could not sell this for less than the metal. So, oh, and I forgot one piece, another really interesting piece. Okay, you guys, this is a belt. I made a belt. Again, my one and only belt. It is a dragon belt. So if we have any high fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones dragon fans here, these are two dragons. We've got a silver and a copper one. This was my exercise in riveting. So if you see these two little like pins on either side, I was riveting the two metals together. So it's got the little dragon headpiece, and then these tiny little copper, I don't know what you call them. I twisted them around to make these little intricate like locking pieces. And this piece is sort of fiddly. I noticed the copper sections tend to like come apart. You can restring them simply by like kind of messing around with the copper and like sliding them apart. But this should probably go to someone who has a little bit of confidence and experience in wire work, because I worry that it will come apart or tangle. So if you are terrified to like work with any type of wire or jewelry, maybe not get this piece. But that is why I am pricing it at 55. So somebody can wear it with a fun costume. The waist length is 33 inches. I'm gonna just try it on so you guys can see it. For me, that's a little bit of a hip hugging length, but for someone else, it might be waist. So it just clips in. There's just like a little clip. It's really easy. And then you can see it's sort of like a garter belt. So I feel like this would be really cool with your Game of Thrones costume or your SCA event. I know you SCA people all know how to work wire, or you know someone who does. So maybe this should go to one of you, and it should be stored carefully so that the links don't fall off. Maybe in a bag, a Ziploc bag or something. So that is everything. That is my 20th anniversary early pieces show. Please email me at info@kellymorgan.com if you would like to take any of these fun historical pieces home. I hope they find good homes. It was such a joy for me to make them. That was arguably the happiest year of my life, 2005, where I was making all these pieces, learning how to do this, and now I have a craft that I have had for 20 years and absolutely love. So these pieces are a really important part of my history, and I hope that they will go to someone who loves them. So thank you guys, and enjoy.